I asked her like a year ago, do you believe in flat Earth? She said, nope, I see the curve from the plane. And I went, okay. And
Oh
I never said
boy.
a thing about it the whole
Oh
year. She
boy.
watched me post stuff. She watched me and she's like, I appreciate that you knew and you never approached me, never was aggressive, never shoved it in my face. I was like, yep, I had a plan for you and Dave.
Start video.
There you are.
There we go. Success.
Hello, Susan.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Good. I was listening for a little bit. You sound like a flat earther. They're just not ready to say it yet.
Yeah, right.
Look at the skepticism. I love it.
You know,
Going
one
on.
one of the things that he just told me you said was that you saw curvature from an airplane. And we all think we saw curvature from an airplane. This is 120,000 feet, a little higher than an airplane at 30,000 feet. And there is no curvature. But the reason that you think you see curvature is this. So if you're standing here, the way our eyes work, where perspective, where the sky meets the land, that's where it just becomes too small for us to see. And that's the limit of our vision. And it changes daily based on the atmospheric conditions. But clear day, let's say the limit of our vision's 30, 40 miles, whatever it is, where the clouds compress with the horizon. So if we flip this and we're standing here, we can see the same distance in all directions. So let's say this is, I don't know, 10 miles, and that's 10 miles and 10 miles. Well, that 10 miles makes a curve, right? And if you draw a straight line through the air, tangent to that, then you are seeing this curve. And that curve, your programming tells you, oh, that's the edge of the sphere. But in reality, if you're standing on a ball, which is scientifically impossible, or standing on a flat Earth, you would see the same horizon. Because, because on a ball, you see as far as you can until you hit the edge of that curve, and that's your physical horizon. And let's say it's 10 miles that way or 50 miles, whatever it is. It's the same in all directions. It doesn't curve down and behind you. It just curves around you at the same level. And the problem is, as we go higher on a ball, that horizon should get lower and lower because you're seeing farther and farther, and that horizon should be dropping off, but it doesn't. The horizon rises as you go up. And here's a quick example that'll help you see. Remember the Red Bull space jump? Remember Red Bull, the guy that jumped out of a balloon from 127,000 feet? And so this is whatever that program is that shows you things. This is ground level. You have your horizon here. And if the Earth was a ball at 127,000 feet, it should look like that. But here's a camera that's inside of the capsule when he climbed in. This is him climbing at ground level, and you can see the horizons right there. And then he goes up to 127,000 feet. It's still the same. Yeah.
Nathan Oakley has a good 2-minute thing with using the protractor as a flat Earth proof, right? Where he shows this is all perspective, how it leaves your perspective, but it only works because of the baseline, flat Earth proof, 180 degree.
There's so many arguments. So here it is. Here's the horizon at 127,000 feet without a fisheye lens, and look, it's still here at ground. 127,000 feet. It didn't move.
No,
it didn't move. How is that possible? Right? If the Earth was a ball, a ship going over the ball would disappear behind a physical horizon, right?
Yeah.
And so let's just say my finger is the ship, and it goes behind this physical horizon, right? And if I zoom in, you still can't see it because there's a physical horizon, right?
Yeah.
But our horizon is not physical. It's optical, because when here, we'll look at this. When we look at something like a ship in the or the horizon in the distance, where did my there it is. Let me get rid of that. 1 second. There we go. So when everything compresses into the horizon, that's the limit of your vision, right? If I held a human hair right here, you could see it. But if I moved it 50 yards away, you couldn't see it because its angular size is too small for your eye to physically see. It's called the angular resolution limits of your eyes. All right. So when we look at hold on, let me just stop this for a second. So when we're looking at the horizon, this horizon here is basically where the sky and the land just come together. And that's the limit of your vision because you can't see in between my hands. Okay. But if you zoomed into my hands, you could see, you can make it bigger by zooming in. So let's watch this. So now out here, we don't see a boat or anything. So again, I'm zooming in. So I'm just increasing the angular size. And as I increase the angular size, all of a sudden you can see there's a boat there. Now, if it was a curve, if it was over the curve, there's no way I could zoom it back in. Now watch, as I go away, these little waves in the foreground here will start blocking the boat because they're closer to you and bigger and the boat is smaller due to perspective. And then the whole thing disappears. Now a glober would say, oh, it's over the curve, but it's not. Yeah. It's just out of your ability to see. It's how your eyes work. It's how perspective works. And there's a whole bunch of other reasons that you can't see things. There's the atmospheric density, the waves in the foreground, all sorts of things, the amount of light that's bouncing off of it. And so the globe argument, when they hear this, they're like, well, how come you can't zoom in on the sun when after it sets? And let's talk about that. Yeah. So the reason is, as I stall and pull up an image.
You know what, Dave? I have your video right here ready to go if you want your living room sun perpendicular line one. Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
No, I got it. So that's actually, I wasn't even going to show that one, but let me show that one.
Right.
So you have to remember, a boat is a terrestrial object. It's here on the land, on the terrestrial, on the land. It's on the earth. The sun and the moon are celestial objects. They're above the earth. Simple, right? You with me?
Yeah.
And the atmosphere in the distance becomes opaque and it all merges together, okay, at eye level, right? If you're looking at if you're right next to a 10-story building, the building, the roof is up there, you got to tilt your head up, it's up there. But if you move that 10-story building a couple miles away, well, the roof looks like it's level with your eyes. It all comes together, all right? But it's really still up in the air. All right. So let me show you this video instead. Okay. So all of these streetlights are at the same height, but they look like they're going down in the distance. And as I zoom in, we're just increasing the angular size. So here we have a cloud. This guy's looking up at the cloud. He's got to look up like that. All right. Hang with me on this. And so now we have a whole deck of clouds going into the distance. And they look like they're getting closer and closer to the horizon, but that's just perspective. We know they're all at the same height. And this cloud in the very distance here looks like it's at my eye level. So if I looked at it and I drew a string, I pulled a string, an actual string from my eyes to it, I would see a string going straight and level across the water all the way to that cloud. That's how I would see that string. It would be 6 feet off the ground all the way to that cloud. But imagine if you were standing underneath that cloud and could see the string. Would you see a line coming back to me level, just like I see it? That's not what you would see. If you were underneath that cloud, that cloud is still, 5 or 10,000 feet up in the sky. So you would see the line sloping down from 10,000 feet above you. But I see it level. That's how, so let your brain wrap around this. So now the sun moves across the flat earth, across in the sky. So we backed out a little bit here. Here's my cloud in the distance that you're standing underneath. That looks, to me, looks like it's on the ground. And here's the sun going by. Well, this cloud is, that's the opaque layer. I can't see behind it. So when the sun goes beyond this line, this is what I see. But I don't see it up in the sky. I see it down at my eye level due to perspective. So what I see is, it's going to show it in a second. So what I see is this line here, right? The cloud there, and the sun is just going away and it's going down just because it's going away, right? It's not really going down. It's going away, just like these streetlights, right? They're not going down, they're going away, just like this sun. It's not
Yeah.
going down, it's going away. And then it merges into this opaque barrier here, and it just goes beyond it. And then you can't zoom in because that's opaque.
Yeah.
So a celestial object is above a layer, which is the opaque layer. A terrestrial object is sandwiched here at the same layer. You're on the same layer. You got your atmospheric layer and you got your earth layer, and it all sandwiches together. And if you zoom in, you can re-expand it and see what's there and then see farther.
Hmm.
I hear a lot of
Did you know-
hums over
Did
there,
you know?
Susie.
Did you know that on the size that they tell us that the globe is, a 6 foot tall person standing at the edge of calm water should only be able to see the surface of that water for 3 miles, and then all of it should drop behind a physical curve. There should be 6 feet of drop
Okay,
at 3
a lot
miles.
further than that.
No, what I know. Thank you. Of course we can. Right.
Uh-huh.
And so here's the thing. We're all trained before we have reasoning abilities, before we can even speak, that the earth is a globe. I don't know if you have kids, but the first worksheet they bring home from school is the orbits of the planets and the moon and the sun and everything. And the teacher has a globe in the class and they swing water around in a bucket and tell you that's gravity. And all the children's shows are, heliocentric based. Walt Disney is on Sesame Street and the astronauts are on Sesame Street and Walt Disney. It's all programming to put your mind in what I call the heliocentric matrix. It's a prison for your mind to stop you from being able to think beyond the ball. The ball is a prison. Okay. So let me show you, take it one step further. And then I'll throw it back to you for any specific questions. So a lot of people think that we're a disc floating in space. Well, only globe believers believe that. No, we don't believe that we're a disc and the other planets are round. We don't believe that the other planets are flat. We don't believe in other planets, and we'll get into that. But
Yeah.
so what do we believe? Well, they tell us that Antarctica is a continent at the bottom of our ball, 10 to 13,000 miles in circumference. Okay. What is that?
Did your tablet just ring?
So they also tell us it's the highest land on Earth. Well, you're outside. Are you near a lake by any chance? You near any water? No?
Susie
No.
with us? Oh,
Nope.
Susan?
No water.
So if you're at a lake, what stops the water from flowing out of the lake?
The sides of it, the land.
The land. It's the container. Very good. Right. So lakes fill a basin, fill a low spot, and then they're contained by the land that's higher than the water consistently. You with me?
Yeah.
So what if the earth is set up like this? We live in a pond. All of the continents, islands are surrounded by water, but all of the water is surrounded by what? By land, the highest land on earth, Antarctica. Antarctica is the shoreline of our world. It's off limits to everybody and all of the countries. There's 2 things that all the countries in the world agree upon. There's wars all the time, resources, wars, politics, but everybody agrees nobody can go to Antarctica, not even the oil companies, nothing. Right? They say there's unlimited friggin' natural resources there. And everyone and all the countries agree with this stupid thing you can do in your arm, which I'm not going to say because I'm hoping to put this on YouTube.
oh, it's on YouTube now, by the way. I meant to tell you.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, you should have told me. I would have shared the link.